We sit here waiting for the cover of nightfall, then we ride hard. They won't anticipate our route, not after the blizzard threw them off. Keep the horses steady. Panic won't outrun a bullet. All this struggle, crossing oceans and deserts, only to end up hauling illicit goods for family. Blood paints the fresh snow red again, the familiar crack of rifle fire shattering the mountain quiet. The Duttons are bleeding again, but this war cuts differently. It's not just land this time, it's a festering wound of betrayal, an ally turned snake, poisoning the well. What unfolds next threatens the very soul of the Yellowstone, digging up secrets best left buried, and the price will be paid in more than just coin. Who stands tall when the smoke clears, and whose name gets etched onto a tombstone? The wind whips across the vast Montana expanse, carrying the metallic tang of blood. The Dutton Ranch, a symbol of defiance, feels vulnerable, shaken by the storm gathering on its doorstep. Jacob Dutton, weathered by countless fights, faces an enemy not at the gates, but within the walls. A figure who shared their table, their trust, now serves greed, whispering secrets to the enemy. This isn't just business, it's personal, a knife twisted in the family's heart. As the air grows thick with unspoken fear, Cara Dutton feels the tremor of impending doom. She's the anchor, the one who mends the fractures when the world tries to tear them apart. But the poison spreads fast, attacking the foundations of loyalty, threatening every sacrifice made. Across the ridges, the shadow lengthens. Donald Whitfield's obsession with the Yellowstone consumes him. He amasses his forces, sharpens his strategy, ready to exploit the weakness created by his inside man. He doesn't just covet the land, he wants to shatter the Dutton spirit, turn brother against brother. With the traitor feeding him every plan, victory feels chillingly close. The fuse is lit during a routine cattle muster. What starts as a normal day erupts into chaos as riders' faces hidden by masks pour from the trees, guns blazing, bullets rip the air, finding targets among the Dutton cowboys. They fight back fiercely, desperately, but the ambush is well planned, relentless. Amid the gunfire and falling bodies, a known face flickers among the attackers. The trusted hand, now aiming his rifle at his own kin. The suspicion becomes a horrifying certainty. Betrayal has a face, and it's one they know. When the guns fall silent, the Duttons survey the devastation. The ranch is scarred, the herd diminished, and the family wounded, in flesh and spirit. But Jacob Dutton is forged in resilience. Defeat is not in his vocabulary. This war has just escalated, and vengeance will be sought. The traitor struck first, but the Duttons always strike last. Dawn breaks over the Montana landscape, but its light offers no comfort. The Dutton Ranch bears the fresh wounds of the ambush, smoke curling from smoldering hay bales, a stark reminder of the enemy's message. The war for the Yellowstone is here, and mercy is off the table. Jacob stands amidst the wreckage, his face a mask of controlled fury. The sight of his fallen men, loyal hands who built their lives here, cuts deeper than any blade. Their deaths, orchestrated by a traitor in their midst, fuel a resolve that burns hotter than any fire. Justice will be served. Cara moves through the chaos, her grief a silent storm beneath a calm surface. She tends the wounded, organizes the grim task of honoring the dead, her mind racing. Who among them could sell their loyalty to Whitfield, knowing the cost? The answer must be found, and forgiveness is not an option. On the horizon, Spencer Dutton rides in, his long journey finally over. Hardened by the brutality of the world beyond the ranch, he is ready for conflict, but the devastation that greets him chills him to the bone. His home, the land he carries in his soul, is under siege. One look at Jacob's face confirms it. War has come home, and Spencer knows his part. Meanwhile, in his opulent den, Donald Whitfield savors the unfolding chaos. His plan, meticulously crafted, proceeds flawlessly. He understands that breaking the Duttons requires more than violence. It demands psychological warfare, sowing seeds of doubt and paranoia. The traitor, embedded deep, delivers the necessary intelligence, anticipating the Duttons' every move, countering every strategy. The family, unaware of the viper in their nest, feels the pressure mounting. Suspicion begins to curdle trust, fracturing the unity that has always been their strength. Just as Whitfield intended, as night envelops the ranch, Jacob Spencer and the remaining loyal hands convene in the great hall. Lamplight casts long, dancing shadows on their weary faces. The air crackles with unspoken fear. They cannot survive another attack like the last. They must seize the initiative, force Whitfield onto the back foot. But how do you fight an enemy who knows your thoughts? How do you lay plans when a spy sits at your counsel? Then, Jack Dutton's voice cuts through the tension. Younger, yes, but tempered by the recent violence. There's a snake in this house, he states, the words hanging heavy. The truth, however ugly, must be. Until the traitor is exposed, they remain vulnerable. Outside, the ranch holds its breath under the vast, starry sky, battered but defiant. And somewhere in the shadows, the traitor listens, knowing their time is short. The Duttons are closing. When the truth surfaces, it won't just bring shame, it will demand blood. A frigid wind sweeps down from the mountains. As the Duttons regroup, the ranch, though scarred, remains standing, a testament to their enduring spirit. But the physical damage pales in comparison to the invisible wound, festering within. The traitor who still walks among them, observing, waiting. Jacob Dutton, guided by a lifetime of hard-earned instinct, feels the betrayal like a physical. He calls his family, his most trusted foreman, into the great hall. The long table, witness to decades of family history, now serves as a war table. Faces are etched with grief, anger, and the gnawing poison of suspicion. Jacob's sharp eyes move slowly around the room, scrutinizing each person. He knows the betrayer is present. The question hangs unspoken. Who? Spencer watches from the hearth, his posture radiating coiled tension. He's seen betrayal rot armies from the inside out. But this hits differently. This is home. This is blood. Failure isn't an option. He glances at Kara, the matriarch who has weathered so many storms. Even her formidable strength seems strained under this weight. Suddenly, Jack Dutton speaks, his voice clear and firm, shattering the oppressive silence. I know who it is. He steps forward, youthful features set in grim resolve. He recounts the small inconsistencies, the overheard whispers, the pieces that didn't fit until now, forming a damning mosaic. All eyes follow his gaze as he locks onto the accused. A name is uttered, simple, devastating. The room freezes, weapons are gripped tighter, the named individual pales, the mask of loyalty shattering. He made me, the traitor chokes out, desperation mingling with a flicker of defiance. Whitfield, he threatened my family, said he'd kill them if I didn't help. The explanation, raw and fearful, offers context but no threat can justify the deaths already staining the ground. Jacob steps toward the traitor, his voice dangerously low. You chose his family over ours, over your oath. The weight of the betrayal settles, suffocate. Fighting outsiders is one thing. This treachery from within feels like the final fracture. The traitor knows there's no escape. A hand darts towards a hidden gun. Chaos erupts, shots are fired. Spencer reacts instantly, his draw faster, his aim true. A single shot echoes, decisive. The traitor crumples, eyes wide with disbelief, life draining onto the floorboards. Silence descends, heavy and profound. Kara moves to the fallen figure, sorrow etched on her face. No victory here, just another life consumed by the endless battle for Yellowstone. But grief must wait. Whitfield remains. Cutting off his spy will only make him more desperate, more dangerous. The internal wound is cauterized, but the external war rages on. Jacob looks at his remaining family, his loyal men. His voice resonates with unwavering resolve. We finish this, now. The night air is electric, thick with the promise of violence. The Dutton Ranch, scarred but resolute, transforms into a war camp. No more doubts, no more holding back. The enemy has shown his hand. The Duttons will answer in kind. Jacob Dutton, rifle gripped tight, embodies the spirit of the Yellowstone, unyielding, fierce. The betrayal meant to break them has instead forged their anger into a weapon. Whitfield will pay. The ranch hands muster, their faces grim. They've lost brothers, friends. This is more than just a job. It's about defending their way of life. Spencer stands beside Jacob, a silent pillar of deadly competence. Africa taught him survival. Montana taught him what's worth dying for. He will protect this family, this land, or die trying. Jack, no longer a boy, secures his gun belt. He's seen the cost of weakness. Fairness is a luxury the world doesn't offer. You fight or you lose. He fights for his father, his aunt, his future, the Dutton legacy. Kara watches from the porch, a silent sentinel. She knows the price of war, the sacrifices it demands. Not everyone who rides out will ride back. As dawn paints the eastern sky, the Duttons move out, a tide of determined riders thundering across the valley. They are the land's protectors, fighting for ghosts of the past and hopes for the future. Lose this, and everything is lost. Miles away, Donald Whitfield observes from his balcony, whiskey in hand, confidence radiating from him. He sees the Duttons as dinosaurs, clinging to an era swept away by progress and profit. He has men, resources, power. He underestimates the ferocity of a family fighting for its very existence. The Duttons are not just fighting for soil, they're fighting for survival itself. The first shot cracks the morning stillness, igniting the valley. The Duttons charge headlong into Whitfield's forces, a whirlwind of fury. Spencer moves with lethal grace, each shot finding its mark. Jack fights with the desperate courage of youth, defending his birthright. Jacob leads the charge, a force of nature, driven by righteous anger. Whitfield's men return fire, but they are unprepared for the sheer intensity of the Dutton onslaught. They falter, their lines breaking under the relentless pressure. The peaceful valley transforms into a brutal killing ground. Amidst the chaos, Jacob spots him, Whitfield watching the battle unfold from his perch. A storm of rage and grief surges through Jacob. This ends now. He dismounts, rifle ready, and begins the solitary march towards Whitfield's house. The war rages around him, but the final duel awaits. The battlefield descends into a maelstrom. Duttons and Whitfield's hired guns clash violently. Bullets fly, men fall. The Duttons fight with the land itself, seemingly backing them, driven by generations of resilience etched into their bones. Jacob moves through the fray, focused, relentless. Whitfield is the head of the snake. Spencer is a whirlwind of controlled violence, his experience turning the tide in skirmishes across the field. Jack holds his ground, proving his mettle, fueled by the memory of the fallen and the threat to his family. But Whitfield's numbers are significant. For every man down, another steps up. The Duttons are fierce, but they are tiring. The momentum begins to shift, dangerously. Just as doubt begins to creep in, a massive explosion rips through the enemy's rear flank. Whitfield's supply wagons erupt in flames, sending shockwaves of confusion through his men. Who caused it? Doesn't matter. The Duttons exploit the momentary chaos, pressing their advantage with renewed vigor. Jacob sees Whitfield through the smoke, his arrogance finally cracking, replaced by a flicker of fear. Jacob pushes forward, cutting down anyone who stands between him and his target. Whitfield, seeing the battle lost, scrambles back towards his mansion, his fortress now feeling like a trap. He bellows orders, but his men are losing heart. As Jacob reaches the estate, he sees Kara watching, her presence a silent source of strength. Whitfield fumbles with the grand doors, desperate. Jacob surges through behind him. Inside the opulent hall, the sounds of battle recede. Whitfield spins, gun trembling. His mask of superiority shatters, revealing the coward beneath. Time slows. Two men, two opposing forces. Whitfield raises his weapon. Jacob fires first. The shot echoes. Whitfield collapses, disbelief etched on his face as his empire crumbles around him. Jacob stands over the body, breathing heavily, not revenge, but survival. Outside, the fighting subsides. The Duttons, bloody and bruised, have prevailed. The cost is steep, etched onto every face, every newly scarred piece of land. As the sun dips below the mountains, casting long shadows, the family gathers, victorious but forever changed. They know peace is fleeting, Men like Whitfield will always covet what they have, but as long as Dutton stand together, the fight continues. For the land, for the name, for the future generations. But a shadow lingers. The dust hasn't settled yet. The valley is quiet now, the silence broken only by the groans of the wounded and the whisper of the wind through the bullet-scarred tree. Whitfield's men lie broken on the land they tried to steal. The Duttons stand amidst the aftermath, weary victors surveying their costly triumph. Jacob Dutton leans heavily on his rifle, the battle having taken its toll. He finds his family, Jack bloodied but resolute, transformed by the crucible of war. Spencer, rifle lowered, the grim reality of endless conflict settling in his eyes. Cut down one weed, another grows. Men like Whitfield are eternal threats. The fight for Yellowstone is never truly over. His gaze finds Kara on the porch steps, the unbreakable pillar, though even her strength shows the strain. Her dress marked by the fight, her hands trembling slightly. The ranch house itself bears witness, windows shattered, walls pocked with bullet holes, surviving like them but scarred. Victory offers no respite, only the chilling knowledge that this was just one chapter in a perpetual war. The surviving hands begin the grim cleanup, tending to their own, removing the enemy dead. As Jacob and Spencer enter Whitfield's now silent estate, the smell of gunpowder hangs heavy. Whitfield lies where he fell, a monument to failed ambition. Men like him never learn. Spencer murmurs. Jacob nods grimly. There'll be another. Back at the ranch, as Kara and Jack direct the mending process, a lone rider approaches. Slow, deliberate, tension snaps back. Danger is never far. The stranger dismounts, pulls a formal letter from his coat. From back east, he says, handing it to Kara. She takes it, feeling its ominous weight. Jacob steps closer as she unfolds it. Her eyes scan the page. Her face drains of color, her knuckles white as she grips the paper. What is it? Jacob asks, his voice tight. Kara looks up, her eyes reflecting a new, perhaps greater dread. The government, she whispers, the words falling like stones. They're coming. For the land. The battle won.